I'm really shocked that my hair has been holding up, but it has. I wanted to talk about this book my mom and I have been reading, Mirror Lake. It is part of the Shady Hollow series, and this is like the fall book. I did check out some of the other ones. There's 3 other books, I think, and they look like seasonal. One for the summer, one for the spring, one for fall. Maybe there's a 4th for winter. I don't know. But we're reading this one. And I am nearing the end, as you can see. And I have been loving every minute of it. It is... a synopsis, I would say, would be it's a cozy mystery starring animals, very human-like animals, which I really like because I grew up watching Brother Bear and like Franklin and things like that, where the animals are given human traits. And I don't know, I guess I just have a big imagination, so it's easy for me to just get into the story. And they give a kind of precursor, I guess, in the author's note about that, and pretty much are just saying like, just go with the flow. I'll read an excerpt. If a moose pours a mug of coffee for a sparrow sitting at the cozy counter of the local diner, why not focus on the friendliness of the gesture rather than the logistics of dish size or seat height? In fact, it is best to think of the characters within as ordinary folks, just like you and me. For no matter what appearance they have, they are indeed very like us on the inside. So, I really like that they added that into it. And they also added a cast of characters list, which is very helpful because there are lots of characters and side characters and things like that. And also, given the fact that they're animals, it's kind of hard to keep up and remember who is what, who is who, I should say. I'm trying to change my language when I speak about animals and plants and other living things, which the book Braiding Sweetgrass has been teaching me, language of animacy. So, excuse me if I slip up a little bit, but yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep up with who is who. So this cast of characters list is very helpful. I refer back to it quite often. So far, who's my favorite? One of my favorite characters is Lenore, which she is a raven. She's described as this dark as night raven runs the town's bookshop, Nevermore Books, and has a penchant for mysteries. So I see myself a lot in Lenore. And I also like Sunli. There he is. This panda is a former surgeon and current chef. He runs the bamboo patch, serving vegetarian dishes to die for. So I really want to try one of Sunli's dishes. Like, I love vegetarian food. Yeah, I was vegan for a few years, so anything vegetarian or vegan, I'm here for. So yeah, Sunli and Lenore are 2 of my favorite characters. The main character is Vera. She is a fox, and she's a reporter. And pretty much she has moved to Shady Hollow from the city. And everything was very peaceful, very fine, until one day one of the rat citizens, I think her name is Dorothy, they call her Dottie, she accuses her husband of being an imposter, pretty much, and says that her real husband has been murdered, and the rat that everyone sees and interacts with since her return from her mother-in-law's death is pretty much not her real husband. And so everyone is taken aback by this, of course, and kind of just shoos her away because she's kind of like the town skeptic and known for believing in certain things and being just kind of Dottie, which gives her nickname. But I don't know. I am also a superstitious kind of person, and I probably would be the town skeptic if I lived in a small town. And so I had a little bit of empathy for Dottie, and apparently so did Vera, because she starts to investigate matters in her own hands. And yeah, sorry, let me get I have my little ghost cup because it's spooky season. It's September, but I don't care. And then I got some Thai tea, so I'm just gonna, I put some hazelnut syrup in here to give it some flavor. And then I have some almond milk right here. And look how pretty. Okay, there we go. I love Thai tea. It's just such a pretty drink. So yes, Vera starts to investigate the case on her own and for herself, and stumbles upon, do I want to spoil it? There's going to be spoilers, so sorry if you're planning on reading, but she stumbles upon a fact that Edward Springfield, which is the husband who's being accused, has a long-lost brother, Thomas Springfield, which I know what we're thinking. Okay, obviously. Oh, and another fact that is important is Edward Springfield's mother recently passed, and so there's an inheritance in question. And so, of course, with that fact being known, you would think that maybe his long estranged brother returned and murdered him for the inheritance and is impersonating him for the inheritance. But his wife is intuitive, and women's intuition is never wrong, most of the time. And so she picks up on that. But with further investigation, Vera travels to the town in which Thomas Springfield is from, and word goes around, and come to find out, Thomas has been dead for 3 years. So that theory's dead, no pun intended. Yeah, so now I'm at the point in the book where she's trying to find out what is really going on. If Thomas is dead, there's no way that he could have killed Edward and is impersonating him. But she has also an instinctive feeling that something is actually going on. So we're still trying to figure that out. I just want to keep up with the books I've been reading, because I've been reading some gems. Some not so much. Like, I just finished reading Pumpkin Spice, something like that. Pretty much about this like magical bake shop, where they have these matchmaking magical cookies that bring you to that attract your love of your life. And so it was 3 different stories within the book, which I actually really liked. I appreciate a book with multiple stories. It's like a 3-in-1 package. But yeah, that was pretty good, but I didn't think it was worth talking about or like making a whole video on. Just a cute entry to the fall read season. But this one, Mirror Lake, is definitely worth talking about. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Mirror Lake and any of the other Shady Hollow mysteries, because it's very cute. It's a murder mystery, but it's very comforting, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but yes, check it out if you haven't.